Hello friends, we are Rituban and Urunima, the diversity travelers. We live in Hobart, capital of the beautiful Australian state Tasmania. Experiencing the diversity of this wonderful world through travel is our passion. Over the last 15 years, during our time in England and Australia, we have traveled to 6 continents, 40 countries, and over 50 great cities and extraordinary natural wonders. We are creating short videos based on our own recordings to archive our beautiful memories and share with you on our YouTube channel. This was a beautiful winter day, the first day of our Nile cruise. We went to the upper deck to see the sunrise on the Nile and a morning glimpse of the great Luxor temple once again, before grabbing some delicious breakfast on the boat. The Valley of the Kings is a valley in Egypt, where for a period of nearly 500 years, rock-cut tombs were excavated for the pharaohs and the powerful nobles of the New Kingdom. The valley stands on the west bank of the Nile, opposite to Thebes, the modern city of Luxor. Ex-school teacher and very knowledgeable Egyptologist Said was our tour guide during our entire Nile cruise. The great temples of ancient Egypt were on the east side of the Nile, while the west bank was predominantly used for burial purposes. The valley is known to contain 63 tombs and chambers, beginning with Pharaoh Thutmose I and ending with Pharaoh Ramesses X. The usual tomb plan consisted of a long inclined rock-cut corridor descending through one or more halls, possibly mirroring the descending path of the sun into the underworld to the burial chamber. After the burial, the upper corridors were meant to be filled with rubble and the entrance to the tomb hidden to protect the valuables from a potential robbery afterlife. This is a map of the tomb locations scattered around the Valley of Kings. The tombs are numbered as KV followed by a number. We visited 4 tombs: KV2 of Ramesses IV, KV8 of Merneptah, KV11 of Ramesses III, and KV62 of Tutankhamun. A ticket to the Valley of the Kings includes 3 tombs that you can visit, but there are other few special tombs like KV62, Tutankhamun's tomb, that you need a special ticket to enter. Tomb KV2, found in the Valley of Kings, is the tomb of Ramesses IV. Ramesses IV ascended the throne later in life, only for a 6 years period. To ensure that he would have a sizable tomb after death, he doubled the size of existing workers to a total of 120 men. The tomb has a maximum length of 89 meters and consists of 3 slowly descending corridors. The tomb is mostly intact and is decorated with scenes from Egyptian mythology. The wall paintings and the interior decorations give us clues about the beliefs and funerary practices of that ancient period. Preserved conditions and the colors of the tombs are so great, it felt like time was captured in a capsule. Tomb KV11, located in the main valley of the Valley of the Kings, is the ancient tomb of Pharaoh Ramesses III. The tomb has been open since antiquity and has been known as the Harper's Tomb due to paintings of 2 blind harpers in the tomb. The 188-meter long tomb is beautifully decorated. The second corridor is decorated with the stories of Ra. The decorated tombs elaborate the preparation for the next world, in which humans were promised continuing life and pharaohs were expected to become one with the gods. Mummification was used to preserve the body so that the deceased eternal soul would be able to reanimate in the afterlife. Tomb Caveate was used for the burial of Pharaoh Merneptah of the ancient Egypt's 19th dynasty. Merneptah ruled Egypt for almost 10 years. He was the 13th son of Ramesses III, only coming to power because all of his older brothers died. By the time he ascended to the throne, he was probably around 70 years old. This tomb has lost most of the colors of the wall paintings. However, we visited this tomb as one of the longest tombs in the valley with vast hall besides the corridors. The burial chamber is located at the end of the 160-meter long corridor. KV62, the tombs of Tutankhamun, was discovered in 1922 by the famous Howard Carter. Like other pharaohs, Tutankhamun was buried with a wide variety of funerary objects and possessions, such as coffins, furniture, clothing, and jewelry. Please watch our travel video called Stories of Cairo for the coverage on the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, where all these artifacts of Tutankhamun's were preserved, and now they are in the Grand Egyptian Museum in Giza. It was a short, nice ride through the pyramid-shaped mountains to the Mortuary Temple of Queen Hatshepsut, Egypt's first female pharaoh. The Mortuary Temple was built at the foot of a sheer limestone cliff. The pyramid-shaped mountain above the cliff gave the site a royal appeal. Hatshepsut was one of the most prolific builders in ancient Egypt, commissioning hundreds of construction projects throughout Upper and the Lower Egypt. Like other grand Egyptian monuments, the purpose of this temple was to pay homage to the gods and the glorious reign of its builder. The temple was commissioned in 1479 BC and took nearly 15 years to complete. Inside the temple, the original pigments remain colorful in many of the paintings. An entire wall is devoted to paintings of her expedition to the land of Punt, apparently in the area of Ethiopia today, on the Red Sea. Architecturally grand and beautiful, the Mortuary Temple of Hatshepsut was one of our most favorite places in Egypt. Our last stop in the Valley of the Kings was the Colossi of Memnon. The Colossi of Memnon are the two massive stone statues of the pharaoh Amenhotep III. The twin statues depict Amenhotep in a seated position, with his hands resting on his knees, looking towards the river Nile. They have stood since 1350 BC. After the grand tour of the Valley of the Kings, we went back to our boat. It was an amazing experience in Luxor. First Karnak Temple, then Luxor Temple, and then the Valley of the Kings. We were speechless. That afternoon, our Nile River cruise started. Hope you enjoyed this extraordinary Valley of the Kings. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more regular video uploads. Share with your friends and families and enjoy the world's amazing diversity. Thanks for watching our travel videos.